Ramadan, as we practice it today, has nothing to do with the Quran. And to go further than that, Ramadan, as we practice it today, is actually an inspiration from Satan.
Ah, yeah, that
The
makes sense.
Hajj, as we practice it today, is an inspiration from Satan.
Yeah, I believe that too.
The Salat, as we practice it today, is an inspiration from Satan.
I believe that.
So let's begin there.
There you go.
And
Go
I
right
know
on.
traditional Muslims and others will hear me, the Quranist or whoever is out there that is still practicing these things as though they are law from Allah. I have some problems with what I'm saying, but the only way they're going to have a problem is if they're not really listening to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If they're following that emotional stuff because they are emotionally attached to ritualism and all of that and fable and the narratives and the hadiths, they're so attached to that they can't hear reason, which Allah prioritizes, that we be thinkers. Allah says, think, but surely thinking profits the thinker.
Yes, dear brother.
We're supposed to be thinkers. I'm a thinker. You're a thinker. That's why we get along so well, and we haven't even physically met yet.
Yes.
Now, the word Ramadan is mentioned only once in the Quran. In Surah 2, Ayat 1. The things that Allah paid the most attention to, He repeats those things in the Quran. Salah, zakah, you follow? Those things are mentioned dozens of times in the Quran. But Ramadan is only mentioned once. For as big a hullabaloo as we make of it, it's our Christmas. And the Eid is our New Year, And we have 2 New Years a year now with the 2 Eids, right?
Yeah.
But how much of this is in the Quran? Where is, and I've asked Muslims this, where is the Eid in the Quran? This big celebration.
Yeah.
Everybody comes out by the dozens, sometimes by the thousands, depends on what part of the world you're in. But where is the Eid festival mentioned in the Quran? Now, an Eid in the Quran, but it's in reference to the Prophet Jesus in the surah called El-Ma'idah. You get it? Ma'idah, the place of we're sitting at the table. They say feasting in the Christian paradigm. They say, Last Supper. Right? That was their Eid. But it was not for the purposes that our scholars have established it. So these celebrations are not in there. Where are all these supererogatory prayers? Who threw that in the mix? Where's the Taraweeh? Where's that word in the Quran that we spend so much time performing after the Isha Salat?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we have to stand in line, as you said, and listen to, a Qari recite the entire Quran 1/30th a night, and we don't know anything past Al-Fatiha.
Yeah.
Most of us, we have no idea what most of us can't translate Al-Fatiha correctly. But we stand there for days and days and 30 days listening, thinking that we're getting closer to Allah, and we don't even know what Allah is saying.
Yes.
Are you getting closer to Allah? So I said it is Satan inspired. And I know for a fact, based on my research, that this was an effort that went into play not long after Muhammad the Prophet passed from this earth. That there were people who were just waiting him out because they had become Muslims hypocritically. The Quran calls them munafiqeen.
Yes.
They had become Muslims at the threat of being expelled from the land of Muhammad the Prophet. You either have to do as we do, or you have to find somewhere else to be. And because that was their homeland, they grew up there, all of their family members grew up there, all of their memories were still there, they took shahada, what we call shahada. I'm trying to attack this properly.
Of course.
But, no attack is gentle.
No.
They had a scheme, meaning the pagan Arabs who wanted to hold on to their paganism and onto their Arab nationalistic viewpoints. We're the best people. We're the best hunters. We're the best warriors. We're the best. That's how they saw themselves. The exclusion of all other people. So it's racism also built in.
Of course.
They wanted to hold on to that, but they couldn't do it under the message of Muhammad the Prophet and the Quran. They couldn't do it. So they just waited him out. After he died, in fact, right before he died, they flooded the Muslim community with their proclamations. Oh, yes, we believe. I know we used to be enemies. We used to kill each other and all that, but we're here in peace now. When the Quran talks about when the crowds come, they came and they flooded the Muslim community. And when the Prophet passed, they hatched a scheme to take Islam and hold on to it by name, but to revert it back to our paganism by practice. So all of these practices that we're practicing, including the Hajj, they were here before Muhammad the Prophet appeared.
Yes.
Allah speaks in the Quran about the people who were circumambulating the Kaaba, whistling and clapping their hands. That was here.
That's ancient Hinduism.
It's ancient Hinduism for sure. That's where they got it.
Mm-hmm.
Through Hinduism. Some of it went up into Egypt as a practice, and all of these people have their own version of the Kaaba.
Yes.
That yoni symbol. That has nothing to do. You go over there, kissing the black stone is kissing the vulva.
Of course.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the worship of the feminine deity.
That's what it is.
Now, the Allah that they worship is not the Allah of the Quran.
Yes.
The Allah, listen to the differences in pronunciation. I'm elongating that vowel. Allah is how they pronounce it and write it. The Medda or Dagger Aleph. It's never written like that in the Quran. It's only written with one fatha. So you're only supposed to pronounce Allah's name as Allah. That's it. So if I call the adhan and I say Allah, Allahu Akbar, Allah was pronounced in the cult of the people who were worshiping the moon god.
Yes, of course.
So that Allah is the moon god in their estimation.
Yes.
They're calling on their moon god, and they used to call that moon god Akbar.
Yes.
That's where the phrase Allahu Akbar came from. It did not come from the Quran. There's no Allahu Akbar anywhere to be found in the Quran. So would Muhammad then have said Allahu Akbar when that's not in the Quran? Would he have said Allah and elongated it if the elongation was not built into the revelation? So all of these things, pagan Arabs wanted to hold on to their pagan ways. So they found a way to reinstitute the ritualistic practices of yesterday prior to the Quran. They found a way to reinstitute them. And at the same time, they worked with the ancient Persians once they conquered Persia and understood that the language of Urdu and Farsi very close to Arabic.
Yes.
So they had many of the same words or the same sounds, but they had different meanings because that was an Indo-European language.
Yes.
Not a Semitic language. You see? So they began to borrow Persian meanings.
Yes.
And this happened, about a good 200 years later, after the passing of the Prophet, when they started instituting these fake, false, phony hadiths.
Yes.
All of which come out of ancient Persia. None of them come out of Mecca, Medina. All of them come out of Persia.
Yes.
Bukhari, Muslim, all of them. And what they offered to the Muslim world came out of Persia.
Yes.
So what we're really following in today's time is Persian religion.